Hi, I'm Tracy Sofra. I work with career-minded professional women. And for too long, women have been told that they're not good with numbers, they can't manage money, and one day someone's going to finally come and rescue them. Well, I'm here to dispel that myth once and for all. Today, I want to talk about how you interact with your money and the decisions that you make in your life about money. Have you ever stopped to wonder where all of that behavior is coming from? Interesting concept, and not something I'm sure that most of us spend a lot of time thinking about. But let me tell you and let me assure you that this is time well spent, because I spend so much time in this space with the women that I work with, and we have incredible breakthroughs when we go back. And that means going back to our childhood, going back to where it all started. These breakthroughs with the women that I work with are incredibly powerful, and it takes them from a point of absolute disbelief, of absolute unconscious behavior, of absolute, no, I know exactly what I'm doing. What are you talking about, Trace? To, oh my God, I never saw that. I never thought of it like that. I understand. I can see the patterns. I see how it's playing out in my life right now. If I go back, and if I reflect, and if I spend some time there, might be some uncomfortable time, but let me tell you, time well spent. So what am I talking about? Well, it's a two-step process before we can move forward. The first thing you need to do is you need to go back to your childhood, and you need to go back to those stories, the positive ones, the negative ones, all of the ones that you can conjure up in your mind and sit momentarily, again in that space of almost meditation, where you start reflecting on what was going on at home with mum and dad. What were the money conversations? Were they stressful? Was there scarcity in the household? Was everything just done at the last minute? Did you hear these comments of, what do you think, I'm made of money? Did your father say, money doesn't grow on trees? Was it always that negative, that regressive, that victim mindset around money? Were you told that rich people were greedy? Were you told that money was evil? What were you told about money? What are the stories that you heard? Because I'm betting and I'm guessing, because I know, because I've been doing this work for so long, that these are the stories you're telling yourself right now in your adult life, and they are impacting the way that you act out in your adult life with the decisions you're making around money right now, and you don't even know what's happening. It plays in the subconscious mind, and it affects every decision you make and every step you take within your career, your profession, or anything that you're doing in your day-to-day life. So it's so important to go back to your childhood. And these are the things that we do in depth throughout my program. We go through a heap of questionnaires. We spend so much time in this space, and it is absolutely life-changing, because when I did it, I remembered thinking, oh my God, I'm my father. And I was able to uncover the patterns of behavior that I was doing in my adult life, and I was able to trace them back to my childhood, to what I saw, to what I experienced, to what it felt like. And without question, I took that behavior, I took that subconscious everyday do stuff, and I just did it in my adult life without even question. It was business as usual, right? And so no one can blame you for doing that. But what we can do now, because we're adults, we get to choose, is we can align our current behavior, which comes from our childhood, to correspond with what we want as adults for the rest of our lives. That's what I'm trying to talk to you about today. Trying to talk to you about, who are you in your adult life right now? And is your behavior that you're having around money going to give you what you want? And I'm betting it's not. Because if you aren't where you want to be and you're hitting your head against a brick wall, I'm telling you, you've got to go back. So going back to those stories, I talked about scarcity. Did you come from a family where it was all positive? There was an abundance mindset. There was lots of money and it wasn't an issue. And rich people weren't evil and they weren't greedy. And You were allowed to have some sort of pocket money that you were encouraged to manage as a child? Did it feel okay? And there was no arguments, no fights, and no stress around money? And it was just abundant, and that's how it flowed? Is that what your current life is like now, and it's all fantastic? We need to go back. We need to uncover those stories. I call them emotional stories from our childhood, because our childhood impacts the rest of our lives. We know this from so many studies into psychology in so many areas of our lives. I'm talking about money because that's where I'm an expert at. So we need to uncover those emotional stories. And once we've uncovered them and we see the patterns repeating in our adult life, we then need to accept that, step in that space and own it. We need to own it. We need to say, yep, that's me. That's where I'm at. And then we need to do the values assessment, which is, who the hell am I now? Yeah? Where am I in my adult life? What do I believe in? Who am I? What do I stand for? What are my not negotiables? Three key things that I drive my life by. What do I believe in? What are my not negotiables? And what are the boundaries that I'm setting? What am I going to stand up for? Critical things you need to ask. We go through this in the program. We talk about our current adult values. And you know what? They're not even fixed, because as growing adults and as people that I'm sure you are along the same path as me on personal growth, I'm a great believer. I live by personal growth. I love it. It's the only stuff that I do and the only stuff that I read. And so if you're on the path to personal growth, it means that you're going to be changing, evolving and shaping as an individual for the rest of your life. See, this isn't a destination thing. I used to be one of these people when I was younger. I used to think that that life was some sort of destination. At some point I'd get there. And I've discovered that it's a journey, right? Yeah, I know. I might have been a bit slow compared to everyone else, but it's a journey. It's a continuous journey of self-discovery, realignment, reassessment, asking yourself the tough questions again. If you're not happy with yourself, go back to the drawing board. Try and dig deep and find out why. Nobody's going to do this for you. You need to do it for you. And I am number one at self-responsibility. Remember, we are responsible for ourselves first and foremost. So, life is a journey of continuous evolution. So your values today that you will uncover will not be your values maybe in 12, 6, 7 years' time. It will change. But that's okay, because you should do this every 12 months. Once you've done your adult values, then you need to do the thing, which is, okay, I come from here and this is what I'm doing currently. Is that behaviour going to give me what I want in life or not? And I bet you it's not. I bet you subconsciously you're doing stuff that is not aligned with your adult values and is not going to give you what you want. And therefore you're going to all of a sudden go, no wonder I'm not getting where I want to get to. Here's a quick example. One of my top values, and I'm guessing this ain't going to change because this is exactly who I am and have been at my core since birth. I do not like to be reliant on anyone else. I like independence. And therefore, as I grow older, I don't want to be dependent on anyone else for anything, which means that I'm going to need a bit of money to do that, yeah? Because money is the thing that makes everything else happen for us. So when I talk about money, I usually get this glazed look over people's eyes. It's not a sexy topic, is it? Of course it's not sexy, but it is. You know why? Because money allows you to live the way you want with the people that you love every day, just the way you want on your terms. You get to choose, and that's the ultimate freedom, isn't it? So if that is my top value and I'm spending every cent that I earn and I am not investing and I am not putting my money away so it grows for me, do you think I'm going to reach that goal or achieve that value that's so important to me as a person? I'm guessing you're saying no. I need to align the behaviour around money for me to get the value that I so want as I grow older. There's a simple example of aligning your current behaviour around money with what you want in life. So once you do those two things, the sky is the limit. Your future is now back in your hands. You're in control. And yeah, I'm a self-confessed control freak. People who know me know that. That's fine. But it is nice to be in control, isn't it? As much as we can. We certainly do control who we are, how we respond, and understanding who we are. That is our responsibility as adults in this world. So let's do that. Let's do that for ourselves, for our families, for our kids. Let's be the role models that we want to be. Let's show them the way. Let's lead by example. Because God knows, in this day and age, with what's going on in the world at the moment, leadership is of utmost importance, because leadership is what's failed us to date. Had there been better leadership, we wouldn't be in the state that we're in at the moment, would we? So I'm going to leave you with that. Let's be responsible for ourselves. Let's realign our behaviour around money with what's important to us right now, today, as adults. Because we get to choose. We're grown up now. We're not living with mum and dad anymore. We don't have to do that stuff anymore. We can be better. And each generation needs to be better. So I'm going to leave you with that. Where do you come from with money? Who are you today? Do these two things line up? And if they don't, it's your job to change that. I'm Tracy Sofra. I work with career-minded professional women. Please like my page so you get notifications when I'm on live. Sorry, sometimes it's a little bit later and sometimes a little bit earlier. It's trying times. I run a business, I have a family, I have 2 kids, and guess what? I'm human too. My program is going to come up really soon. I'm working desperately hard on this, and I want you to get the first notification when it comes through, early access to it. Please like and click. Please register, put your details in, and I'm going to see you on the other side. Have a great day. Bye.